What's going on, everyone? So it looks like Welcome to Derry, the It prequel series, is postponed once again. So bad news for Pennywise fans. Welcome to Derry, the prequel series to It that HBO is preparing, has been postponed again. After delaying its release to October 2025, the origin of Stephen King's Clown has been moved to 2026. This is something that, not great, right? I mean, usually when shows or films and stuff keep getting postponed, keep getting pushed back, there's usually reasons to that. And I hope that this gets worked out. This is something that I'm really excited for. It's something I'm really looking forward to. I've talked very heavily. I am a fan of turning these horror franchises into series, right? Because you can just do more in a series. You can get away with more. Especially like these streaming platforms and stuff, they're not as restricted as by the review board and stuff like that for like ratings and stuff. Like you can do a lot more and flush out stories, flush out characters, right? Like I want to see these series have success, because if these series have success, then other horror franchises will probably follow suit, right? Like the Camp Crystal Lake series, if that goes really well and that does a really good job, guess what's probably going to happen? We might get a Nightmare on Elm Street series. And if that does really well, get a new Scream series and so on and so forth, right? So if this Welcome to Derry series does well, and it is what we're anticipating and expecting and hoping it to be, that could be huge. Right? That could be really good. And you're seeing and HBO has done a good job with these series. I mean, look at the Last of Us series, right? So I do have faith that they'll figure it out. I do have faith that they'll work it out and that this will be a good series, but you got to make sure you hit on it, right? Like you cannot drop the ball and fumble. If this thing keeps getting pushed back and this thing keeps getting postponed, then it's very possible that this ends up, falling on its head for a series that is planning to do 3 seasons. They want to do 3 seasons of Welcome to Derry. And so you have to get through the first season. And we've seen a lot of shows and movies and things like that not do too hot, right? Like The Exorcist is a great example. The Exorcist did The Exorcist Believer, and it was so bad, they fired everybody, right? And they have 2 more movies slated to come out. So if you don't handle business, you don't do what you're supposed to do, and you don't get this right. Now, obviously, we'll see what they end up doing and what official announcements and stuff like that come out. But assuming that this gets pushed back a year, I'm not against it, because I want them to get this right. I want them to do this correctly. If you can make sure that you give us a higher quality, better version of the film, and you're making sure you're working out all the kinks and you're doing all the things that you need to do in order to make this the best version and most successful version possible, then perfect, right? Like if they go and they release this and it is great, and it's like it really sets the tone and establishes for the next 2 seasons, and we all know that hey, they did right by not just It fans, but just the general audience and community, period. Because you're going to get a lot of people that are going to watch this just because it's on HBO, and a lot of people that, maybe not even familiar with the It franchise and It series, that this is going to be their introduction, right? New people find stuff all the time. And so now you have this opportunity, which I'm a fan of all the films. I think all the films, even the remakes, have been good. Now, I think that they've been very different. So for example, I think the original It is, obviously it's a lot slower than the remake, but I thought the storytelling was better. I thought they did a better job of kind of flushing out certain things, and you got more from the book than you did in the remake, right? Where I think I thought the remake was very good as far as a modern version to really appeal to a modern audience, right? To get new fans on board with Pennywise and It, and tell the story and all that stuff. Because, you got to think, there's an entire universe. Many people might be aware of this, but a lot of people might not. There's an entire universe with a turtle that basically is the being of creation, and and you have the Dark Towers and all. there is, I mean, like, you want to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's an entire It universe. There's an entire Pennywise universe that has all these, like, intertwined stories, and all of Stephen King's stories all kind of fit in between these things. So there's a lot that you can really branch into if this does really well and this has a ton of success and you're able to do the things that you need to do for this franchise going forward. I mean, we could have all kinds of series and all kinds of stories and stuff. And, I know a lot of people didn't really like The Dark Tower. I didn't think it was, like, terrible. It wasn't great. It was a little disappointing, but it wasn't, like, terrible. It's watchable. It was entertaining, but it definitely had its flaws. But, you have the potential to lay the foundation for many more stories, many more series and films and all that. And you have so much source material. But you have so much that you can kind of tap into and get into that can really just, I mean, again, we could spend the next 20 years really diving into, like, this horror universe centered around it and Methrin and all that stuff, right? So, like, it's going to be interesting to see the approach that they take and how they go about this. And as long as this, like, Welcome to Derry thing is fine, then we're good. As long as this Welcome to Derry thing comes out and it's a hit, then we're good. Now, again, always take this stuff with a grain of salt. Always take these, rumors and speculation and stuff with a grain of salt. We haven't gotten an official announcement about this, but this is the same report that said that it got postponed the first time, and it did. That's why I'm sharing it. So it was correct the first time. I imagine they're probably going to be correct this time. But we'll see, right? Nothing is official and finalized until it's official and finalized. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Are you excited for the Welcome to Derry show? Do you want this series to be really good? Are you fine if they postpone it again? And, as long as it's, they're doing right by the series? Because that's my thing. As long as you give us a good quality series, I don't care how long it takes out, right? Or how long it takes to get out, right? Like, I don't care if it takes you an extra year or so, as long as it's worth it. If the wait is worth the result, then beautiful. But if it's not, that's where the problem is. That's where my concern is. That's where it's like, okay, like, this is not great, right? Like, and you just kind of dragged us along for no reason. You just kept pulling this along for no reason. And that's where my concern lies. But anyway, again, how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.